Hi, and welcome to the channel. I'm Robin.
And I'm Troy.
And we wanted to talk to you today about food and fitness when you travel, especially whenever you're traveling on cruise ships, which we've been doing a lot of lately. So, it's just something to keep in mind. And so we just wanted to kind of talk about the food and
food and fitness. Oh,
yeah.
God. Where do you start with food? You talking about on a cruise ship? Or
Let's start with the cruise ship, and then we'll go into Barcelona since that's where we're at right now.
I tell you to start. If you got any hopes of going on a fitness craze and being in the best shape of your life and eating on a cruise ship, it's probably not going to happen.
Probably not. Know yourself on whether or not you can handle that. But I think a lot of times people get really like, oh, I'm on vacation. It doesn't matter what I eat, which, okay, I get. You can indulge some, but if you want a lifestyle like what we want, where we want to travel as our lifestyle and not just travel as vacation, you can't just say, well, I'm here, I can indulge, and I'm here, I can indulge, and then all of a sudden you realize you're doing nothing but indulging.
See, what I hear is you, blah, 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 and I'm thinking about all the food that's out there. I'm just here, yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with, while you're on a cruise ship, you get plenty of food. If you've never cruised before, if you have cruised before, you understand that food is an abundance on the cruise ships. It's available 24/7 in some way, shape, or form. Plenty of sweets, lots of pizza,
ice cream,
and there is some good food too. But unfortunately, the healthier food people are less likely to look towards whenever they're doing this.
But it's your option. I mean, you can have healthy options. There are healthy options for you on a cruise ship if you just in the buffet, the Windjammer, either one of the cruise lines, whichever the cafeteria is, you have plenty of options. So you can have healthy options.
What do you think about whenever you're traveling?
I honestly trying my best not to overindulge. I try not to just be a straight gordo the whole time of the trip. So I have to kind of pace myself. If in a perfect world, I don't eat twice a day on the ship, but it's just not going to happen. I don't eat as much ice cream as I could. I don't eat as much pizza as I could. So I just try and mentally try and do something to stay a little bit more healthy as far as my eating on the ship. Try to.
I eat more desserts on a ship. I have a massive sweet tooth, and I have to really keep that under control so I can watch my caloric intake. As you get older, it doesn't come off as easily. It's harder to maintain a weight and fitness as you get older, so you really have to work on it a little bit more. So I worry about my caloric intake, but on top of that, I also have high cholesterol, so I've got to keep that in mind. And so I think for me, I eat a lot more desserts. But at the same time, I do try to offset it with a lot of the vegetables, a lot of the healthier options on the cruise as far as what they have to offer. But the biggest thing for me is there are certain things on the cruise ship, especially the individual lines that I just like. Like we just got off a Royal Caribbean Voyager of the Seas 15-night to come in here to Barcelona, Spain. And one of the things, actually 3 of the things that I absolutely love on Royal for dinner is anything salmon. Love the way they do their salmons. If there's a soup on the menu, I'm probably going to get it.
I
don't do a whole lot of soups at home because we cook a lot at home, but soups are kind of labor intensive, and whenever you're 2 people, there's only so much leftovers you can eat of something.
Right.
But Royal Caribbean has some phenomenal soups. And then the last thing is anything that has the word risotto in it. or mushrooms, or both. I'm going to eat that. So I really don't feel like that's too much, but sometimes I'll get a second appetizer if I can't make up my mind between them. I'm not one of those people that's going to get 2 entrees or usually 2 desserts. I mean, maybe every great once in a while I'll get one if I'm not sure if I'm going to like something. But I really try to not eat to the point where I'm going to be stuffed. And I think that that's what people do sometimes is they get to the point where they want to try everything or eat everything, and then they realize how stuffed they are, and then they realize how much weight they gained by the time they get back.
Well, one thing they do allow you to, if you one of the folks who want to just go in there and be gluttonous, I never say that's something that you need to do in life, but you do have the opportunity to try everything on the ship if you choose to. You can try all the food. You see what you do like and what you don't like, and you'll find those things out over time and trial.
But now Carnival actually has kind of reined people in a little bit on that, because I believe they charge for the 3rd entree going forward. So you get 2 entrees included in your main dining, and then the third one.
And I think that's in case you don't. If you don't like the meal, if you don't like the way it tastes, then they'll swap it out for you.
Yeah, I don't think
that's
that
not a problem.
counts.
That
Yeah,
really
but if
count.
you're eating 2 and you
Right.
want a third entree to eat, then they actually do charge you with like 16 something.
And the
for
helpings
the
are
third.
plenty enough for you to one or two helpings of entrees is plenty enough to
Yeah,
feed you
there's only a
for
few
normal
of them that
folks.
we got that were like they were entrees, but they were like little baby size.
And keep remember this is in the main dining rooms. This is not in the cafeterias type. You go to buffets, you can go and eat as much as you want.
As much as you want. If you have specialty dining, of course, that has other rules and restrictions that you'd have to check into each restaurant to see what your specialty dining includes for that particular restaurant.
Yeah, that was so many different things on the ship that I enjoyed as far as the food. I'm sitting there trying to flash back to remember, but it's kind of a blur at this point. She'll flash up some of the videos and some of the stuff that we ate over the 2 weeks.
Like I said, I have my certain favorites, and I did try a few different things. Oh, escargot! That was the first time I'd ever eaten escargot, and I really enjoyed the way the Royal Caribbean chefs did the escargot.
And I've had it before, and
delicious.
it was on par with some of the. It's pretty good. Same way with scallops, that kind of thing.
Oh,
they have
yeah,
some of the different
scallops,
things
seafood. We're big
and
seafood people.
each time you sit down in the main dining room, they're going to give you at least anywhere from 6 to 9 options of entrees and appetizers and desserts. So you have plenty to choose from. You can make decisions, and if you don't like it, you say, "Hey, I don't like this. Bring me another." They'll bring it right away.
Now, what do you really like for breakfast off the ship that we just got? Royal Caribbean?
I probably like just anything with eggs, bacon. I like eggs. I like bacon, but yeah, bacon is a vegetable, so it doesn't really count as pork. I don't eat a lot of pork. I don't eat any pork, but again, bacon's a vegetable.
Bacon's a vegetable, in case you didn't know. Yeah.
But I enjoy just sitting down eating breakfast in there, making a little something. Decide.
See, and I really like the oatmeal. The oatmeal on the cruise ships is really, really good.
One
They
day
have
it was
plenty
soupy.
One day it was soupy. I don't know what happened that morning, but it was soupy. It was pureed.
They had given up.
Like we're done.
We're closing the trough.
But the fresh fruits obviously are really good. One thing I did notice because this was the first time we've ever had this long of a cruise, and they really didn't have a whole lot of ports, I guess, if they needed to restock. I don't know how that goes. I've watched videos on their turnaround day where they have to get everything off the ship for one cruise and then get fresh stuff on the cruise for the new ship, or on the ship for the new cruise. But I don't know if they run out, if they're able to restock at some of the ports. Maybe that's a thing. I guess maybe I might have to research it. But we did notice that as we went along, some things went away. I'm assuming because either they went bad or they ran out.
Right.
Like the bananas.
And they've told us they do 4 hours on the food. I mean, if they throw out everything after 4 hours. So
yeah,
it's pretty good quick turn time on the food. Freshness.
Yeah, but everything was really, really good. There was only a couple things that we had that we didn't really care for, and again, it wasn't because the food was bad. It's just because it wasn't our particular taste, and we were trying something new.
Right.
So whenever you're cruising, you are going to be able to eat a lot, but then you have to factor in the exercise and the fitness. And whenever I say cruising, I don't just mean once a year. I mean, if you're somebody like, we have friends that cruise a lot, and we're trying to cruise more and more along with other forms of travel. So when you move around, whether you're slow traveling or just trying to travel more often, it is important to remember that you have to work on your fitness. And if you're getting older, you're going to feel better if you keep moving. So whenever you're on a cruise, we definitely do the elevators whenever we feel the need, but whenever we're up to it, we do the stairs, and we do a lot of the walking. We have a friend of ours that he works out a lot on the ship. This had a very small little gym. I believe the guys were talking about that.
Worked in that twice. We worked out in there twice.
That there was a smaller gym. And because there was a more active group, I think, on this one, that were looking at this as a way of travel, not just a vacation, but as a way to move around from one continent to the other, there were a lot of people working out. I don't think that I've ever seen a time whenever we had this many people in the gym working out on a cruise ship.
But when you have a lot of time, you've got days where you got to fill that time with something. You want to do something and exercise it on there. I find me a little spot where I guess do my little push-ups and everything every day. walk my laps on the track. Not
The
to say
hooping.
that I've been doing this
Pickleball.
stuff.
There was a lot of pickleball going on.
Don't tell a lot
on
of
this.
people I played pickleball on that. But
He did play pickleball, but there was a lot of people. I just feel like this was a much more. We talked about the demographics of the people that were on this cruise ship being a little bit older. But whenever we say older, I have to really quantify. There were some people with some physical limitations.
Right.
In fact, whenever we left brunch one day, I kind of chuckled because it was like a parking lot of mobile assist vehicles in the main
What do you call
dining room
them?
area. Larks. Yeah, it's just one of the manufacturers. But they were just lined up because there was plenty of people with canes, with wheelchairs, with sorry about that. Plenty of people with canes and wheelchairs and motorized vehicles to, oh God, there was this one lady, she ran right into this other lady that was standing next to us, and she fell over and fell out of her little motorized assist thing. And I'm really segueing here just like with just nothing, but she fell, and Troy went over with another gentleman, and everybody was trying to help her up because she was a fairly substantial woman. And so they were trying to help her up, and we thought that she was about to apologize to this little teeny tiny woman. She was only like that big to me and just little teeny tiny, and she was older too. But yeah, the lady that hit the other lady, we thought that she was going to apologize, and she didn't. She looks at this other lady and says, "You pushed me over. You jumped in front of me."
She didn't. She was just embarrassed, and that's what she was embarrassed that she ran over somebody.
That she ran over this woman. Smooth ran over her. Apparently there is no driver's ed in getting these motorized vehicles, and apparently there should be. So anyway, but even with the people that had some mobile assistance needs, that their mobility was an issue, there was plenty of people that were older than us, much older than us, that were out playing pickleball and hooping and jogging. I've never seen so many people
they played
on a
the
jogging
soccer
track.
games and
Soccer
everything.
games. I mean, just
cornhole and just so many different
and people out
activities.
doing calisthenics first thing in the morning outside of the gym because again the gym was pretty full, and they're out up on the upper deck on deck 12 where the jogging track was, and they're over doing yoga and just stretching and jumping jacks, and that was really incredible to see.
Oddly enough, one time I was in the gym, it was only a total of 4 of us in the entire gym, which shocked me. But
really, was that later in the afternoon?
It was. It seemed like it was a Sunday or something. Maybe everybody else was in church or something.
So by the time we got off the cruise ship, I think that all of us were carrying a little bit more cruise weight, definitely more than what we normally do because we had friends there this time where normally we cruise by ourselves. We were eating a lot because we were meeting up for lunch, we were meeting up for breakfast, we were meeting up for dinner.
Meeting up every 45 minutes.
Right. By the time we finished our meals, it felt like we were eating again unless I was working. And then I did skip a few meals because of working, but it felt like we were constantly eating. In fact, one breakfast, I get up, so I'm trying to work Houston time, and I'm trying to live ship time, so I'm having to work till 11, 12 o'clock at night to be in Houston time. And so I was sleeping in later because my body was all screwed up, and every night to every other night we were losing an hour as we were going through the time zones. So I woke up one day, and I was like, okay, it's 11 o'clock. By the time I get up, I'm going to miss breakfast. Okay, fine. I really wanted my oatmeal. But I go down there, and I thought, okay, I'll meet up everybody at lunch for 12 o'clock because that was our normal lunch time. I go down there to our normal little table, this big round table that we were meeting at, and I was like, hey, you guys are early. It's 11:30. I thought I'd be the first one here. And they were like, well, we've been here since breakfast. They had eaten breakfast hours before, had still not left the table. I sat there with them. We all ate lunch. It was my first eating, their second eating of the day. They hadn't left the table.
And they probably stayed after you left.
No, we sat there. It was my day off.
Okay.
So we sat there so long that we ate again. It was more like a snack, but we ate again. This was
It was a snack.
It was their third time eating and still hadn't left the table. And so finally, and then we get up and we're like, okay, dinner's in 45 minutes. And then we all went to dinner in the main dining room area.
Minutes.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we definitely left the cruise ship with some cruise weight. But you have to pay attention to your fitness. You have to realize that if you indulge on those days, you have to work it out the other days. So whenever we got here to Barcelona, we told each other we were not going to eat like that the rest of our trip. So we haven't. We've just basically been eating. Once we even feel slightly full, we're stopping. We're not overindulging. We're not buying sweets. We're not doing a whole lot. If we want a little something, we're getting it.
Yeah.
But like right now, my stomach is growling. We're hungry. It's 1:53 Barcelona time, and we have not eaten lunch. But we're hungry. But we are now not, like I said, not indulging. We're taking the stairs. We're doing a lot of walking.
Yeah.
So we're getting our fitness back in line. So by the time we get home, whatever cruise weight we came off of should be gone, and we should be good to get back into our normal routine.
My mother will be there waiting on us. Maybe she'll.
Oh, that's right. I forgot your mom is going to be in town.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. She's actually getting there before we are, which is neat. We haven't seen her in, God, it's been a while.
I remember what she looks like.
Oh, well, I remember what she looks like too. Anyways, food and fitness. So we're gonna really enjoy the rest of the time that we're here in Barcelona. As far as the food goes, we have had some incredible meals. We had one really crappy meal at the marina.
It was horrible.
They wanted to eat at the marina, our friends did, and so we stopped at this little restaurant. It looked really cute. The menu looked good. It was Spanish food on one side of the menu and Japanese on the other. Maybe that should have been our first clue that if you got to do two, you can't do one well. I don't know, but it was not good, and it was the service was bad. Bathrooms were horrible. I did a quick video of the bathrooms just to show how, just kind of panned the way the bathrooms were structured. No toilet paper in two of the I don't even think they were women's restrooms. I think they were all just unisex. It was very confusing. And then it was a really high bill for the food that really wasn't good. It was the only bad meal we've had so far since we've been in Barcelona.
Like wood.
But we've had some really good food, and overall everything has been great. So yeah, whenever you travel, you've got to make sure that you get the fitness in with the food. Don't just overindulge. Your health matters. You've only got one body, the only one you're going to ever have, and how you treat it now is going to be based on how it treats you later. Right. So you have to treat your body well now if you want it to treat you later and as you get older.
You can eat, you can do some things, but just pace yourself. Try and pace yourself anytime you're eating. You get some exercise in, and it's going to be better for you in the long run. Just it is what it is.
Yeah. Speaking of food, let's go eat. Bye.
Those dedos. You looking at me for?